This is Mr. Martin. This is a video for the triangle inequality conjecture. This is video number 1, and we're going to be using the GeoGebra software. So if you haven't downloaded the app yet on your computer, go to your app store and get this GeoGebra app. It's free, and we're going to go ahead and start that up. So you're going to have to pause the video frequently so that you can follow along with what I'm doing as well. So, pause and rewind as necessary. And as always, if you have questions or things aren't clear and you want some explanation, go ahead and pause the video and write down your questions and ask me the next time you see me. Or if you happen to be watching in class, go ahead and ask me right then. So let's go ahead and start the GeoGebra app. And it may ask you if you want to sign in, but there should be a little link on the bottom. If it does ask you to sign in, it just says continue without signing in or something like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to geometry. So click on that. And you can see we have a whole bunch of tools up here. And they all have a different function. So when you click on the tool, you're going to get the options at the bottom. It will tell you what it does. It's cut off a little bit here, but you can see most of it. So this is the move tool, and you drag or select the objects. Okay, and then to get to it quickly, you can just hit the escape key. And then as you scroll over each menu, you see there's a whole bunch of options under each one. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to this one where it says a equals 2, and we're going to make 3 sliders. Okay, so the first slider, notice at the bottom it says click on the graphics view to specify position. And we're just going to put our sliders up here in the upper left corner. So I'm going to click. And we're going to rename this side 1. And don't put any spaces. And we want the sides to be integers. That'll make things a little bit easier. So our minimum length will be 1. Our maximum length will be 30, which is a little bit large, but that's okay. And our increment is 1. So as we move the slider, it will go up by 1 each time. So let's go back and make sure we make this side 1 and apply. Alright, and then we're going to do that again. So you can see side 1 now is set at 1, and in a moment I'll show you how to drag that around. So we still have this menu selected. I'm going to click again and change this to integer and change this to side 2 and hit apply. And we're going to do one more time. Click, change it to integer, and then change this to side 3 and apply. So if we select our move tool now, we can change the sides. So this would be side 1 is 28, and here it's 5, or here it's 8, and we can change all of these to whatever we want to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a segment. So let's go to this menu, and I want segment with given length. So I'm going to put my segment here. It says select point and enter segment length. So I'm going to click right about here, and the length that I want is the length of side 1. So at this point now, mine's going to be 3. Yours might be different. So I just type in side 1 and hit OK. And now you see I have a segment that's a length of 3 units. So go ahead back here and select your move tool. And if I change my slider, you see it changes the size of my segment. Okay? And what we're going to do next is I'm going to create a circle at this point and a circle at this point. And we're going to see where those two circles intersect, and that's where we're going to draw our other 2 segments. Okay? Because the property of a circle that we're using right now is that the radii will always be the same no matter where we are, and that's the important property. So let's go over here to this menu, and we want circle with center and radius. So click on that. It says select center point, so we're going to click on A, and then we want to type in side 2. Remember, don't put any spaces there. It should match exactly with how you named your slider there. So there's side 2, and again, if we select our move tool up here and we move this around, we'll be changing the radius of our circle. So let's make sure side 1 is 5. So if yours isn't 5, make it 5, and let's make side 2 4. And let's go ahead back here and select my circle with center and radius. And now we're going to click on B, and we want to enter in side 3 and hit OK. And you can see it just touches here, so I want to get my move tool again, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Let's make it 3. Yeah, let's make it 3. Okay, and I can see where these intersect. So this point here, I'm going to connect it. So I'm going to do segment, and you see it select 2 points. So I'm going to select A as my first point, and I'm going to select the point where these two circles intersect at the top as my second point. Okay, then I'm going to select B as my first point, and then I'm going to select C for my second point. So what I have now, go ahead and pick your move tool so we can move around the sliders. You could see I have a triangle now. So here, side 2, this is side 2. AC is 7 units. Side 1 over here is 5 units. And side 3 over here is 3 units. So I could change the size of this one. And the way we constructed our slider, we can only have integer values for our sides. And this is what we're going to experiment with a little bit. So at this point, if you want to look at your investigation worksheet, it says set side 2 to 5 and set side 3 to 7. Okay, and now what I want you to do is I want you to move the slider and figure out what's the smallest value for side 1. That's AB over here. What's the smallest length for that? And what's the largest length? And then I want you to see if you can notice a relationship between the lengths of the 3 sides when the triangle becomes flat. So go ahead and pause the video now and work on those 3 questions and see what you can come up with, and see if you can figure out the triangle inequality conjecture. Alright, so you should be working with a partner or 2, and if you need any help, if you're in class, you should be in class while you're watching this, go ahead and pause and I may be able to give you some other hints. So pause now and play around with slider 1 and see what's the largest value and what's the smallest value. So this will bring us to the end of this first video, and when you're finished with this part of the investigation, you can go ahead and watch the second video on the side angle inequality conjecture. Okay, we'll see you in the next video.